Welcome back to the Time Travel Tavern, and if you're a fan of Assassin's Creed, you're going to love this one as we do a deep dive into the mystery of the Templars, the real Templars, their real story. So let's have a look and find out more about the most mysterious, interesting, intriguing, dare I say it, dramatic and explosive groups in human history. They were warrior monks, the medieval world's elite fighting force. They were also international bankers who came up with a system of credit that made them wealthier than kings. And on top of all that, they were the guardians of Christianity's most sacred relics. Then, almost overnight, they were gone, leaving behind a legacy of secrets, conspiracies, and a legendary hidden treasure that people have been chasing for centuries. So, what is the real story of the Knights Templar? How did a small band of knights become one of history's most powerful organisations, only to be brutally wiped out? Join us as we unravel the complete story of the Knights Templar, from their sacred vows to their fiery end. Our story doesn't begin with piles of gold, but with profound danger. We're in the early 12th century, just after the First Crusade captured Jerusalem, and the roads of the Holy Land are treacherous. Pilgrims who had journeyed thousands of miles were easy targets for robbers and bandits. In response to this chaos, around the year 1119, a French knight named Hugh de Payen gathered a small group of friends and made a solemn vow. They pledged to dedicate their lives to protecting these vulnerable travellers. King Baldwin II of Jerusalem gave them a headquarters on the Temple Mount, the very site of the ancient Temple of Solomon. From this spot, they got their epic name, the Poor Fellow Soldiers of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon, thankfully shortened to the Knights Templar. Believe it or not, there were only 9 of them at first. They were so poor that their emblem was literally 2 knights riding a single horse. But their mission struck a chord across Christendom. In 1129, at the Council of Troyes, they hit the big time, receiving the formal blessing of the Pope and the influential backing of a leading churchman, Bernard of Clairvaux. That was their turning point. With the Pope's seal of approval came some extraordinary perks. The Templars were exempt from local laws, taxes, and they answered to no one. Not a king, not a bishop, only to the Pope himself. Donations started pouring in. Money, land, castles, and whole villages were gifted to the order by nobles who wanted to support the defence of the Holy Land. The order was built like a well-oiled machine. At the top were the noble-born knight brothers, the heavy cavalry in their iconic white mantles with a blazing red cross. Below them were the sergeants, who handled skilled trades and fought as light cavalry, and the chaplains, who took care of the order's spiritual side. It was a potent mix of monastic life and military might. But how did this holy order of protectors become a financial and military juggernaut? The Templars didn't stay pilgrim bodyguards for long. They quickly evolved into an elite fighting force, becoming absolutely crucial to the defense of Crusader states. They were the hardened shock troopers of Crusader armies, garrisoning massive castles and earning a legendary reputation on the battlefield. They were forbidden from retreating unless ridiculously outnumbered, and their disciplined charges were known to turn the tide of battle. But while their military strength was growing, another, even more revolutionary power was developing in the background. It all started with protecting pilgrims' money. Travellers heading to the Holy Land needed a way to pay for their journey without lugging around sacks of gold and silver. The Templars cooked up a brilliant solution. A traveller could deposit their money at a Templar station in London or Paris. In return, they'd get a letter of credit written in a complex cipher. Once they arrived in Jerusalem, they could present that letter and withdraw their funds. It was essentially the world's first international banking system, a forerunner to modern travellers' checks. The whole system was built on a foundation of absolute trust. The Templars were seen as incorruptible, faith-driven warriors, which made them the most reliable financial institution of the age. Their network of, essentially, banks across Europe became a massive infrastructure for finance. They didn't just move money, they acted as brokers, managed pensions, and even held royal crown jewels as collateral for loans. Kings and even popes became deeply indebted to the Templars, relying on their loans to fund wars and run their kingdoms. By the end of the 13th century, the Templars were unimaginably wealthy and powerful. a multinational corporation with its own army, a fleet of ships, and a financial network that spanned Christendom. They were more than just knights, they were kingmakers, but this incredible power bred jealousy and fear. When the last Crusader stronghold, Acre, fell in 1291, their main military purpose was gone. They had become warriors without a war to fight, and a bank whose biggest clients were getting tired of their debts. A storm was gathering, and it was about to break with unimaginable fury. The downfall of the Knights Templar wasn't a slow decline, it was a sudden, catastrophic collapse, engineered by one of the most powerful men in Europe, King Philip IV of France. Philip was so deeply in debt to the order and saw their immense wealth as the answer to his own money problems. He also saw their independence as a direct threat to his own power. On Friday, October the 13th, 1307, a date forever linked with superstition, Philip unleashed his shocking plan. In a coordinated dawn raid across France, every Templar was arrested. The Grand Master himself, Jacques de Molay, was captured in Paris. The warrior monks were thrown into dungeons, and a series of scandalous accusations were unleashed. The charges were designed to be as shocking as possible, to completely destroy the Templars' moral authority. They were accused of heresy, of denying Christ and spitting on the crucifix during secret initiation rites, and of worshipping a mysterious idol known as Baphomet. Other charges included institutionalized homosexuality and financial fraud. Under the direction of Philip's agents, the arrested Templars were systematically and brutally tortured. Many knights, broken by the horrific pain, confessed to these fabricated charges. These coerced confessions were then used to pressure Pope Clement V, a Frenchman who was heavily under the king's influence. Though initially skeptical, the Pope eventually caved. In November 1307, he issued the papal bull ordering all Templars across Christendom to be arrested. But the trials outside of France were a very different story. In places like England and Portugal, where torture wasn't used, the Templars denied the charges and no credible evidence ever surfaced. Despite a lack of proof, the damage was done. In 1312, under the immense pressure from King Philip, Pope Clement officially dissolved the Knights Templar. He didn't condemn them for heresy outright, but disbanded them, claiming their reputation was too tarnished. Their vast wealth was ordered to be transferred to their rivals, though Philip made sure to seize a huge chunk for himself first. The final tragic act came on March the 8th, 1314. The Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, who had earlier confessed under torture, was brought before a crowd in Paris. Instead of repeating his confession, he and another Templar leader recanted, defiantly proclaiming their innocence and the purity of their order. Enraged, King Philip ordered them to be burnt at the stake as relapsed heretics that very evening. As the flames rose over Paris, the story of the Knights Templar came to a fiery, brutal end. The Templar legend is so powerful, it has conquered modern popular culture, most famously in the world of video games. The best example is the blockbuster Assassin's Creed series. In this heavily fictionalized version of history, the Knights Templar were not destroyed, instead they went underground, surviving as a secret society that manipulates world events from the shadows. The game's central conflict is a centuries-long war between the Templars and their enemies, the Assassins. The Templars' goal is to create a perfect world by achieving peace through control. They believe humanity is inherently flawed and that true peace can only be achieved when people are guided by an enlightened few. This puts them in direct opposition to the Assassins, who fight to preserve humanity's free will at all costs. This fictional portrayal masterfully taps into the historical realities and myths surrounding the Templars, their real-life wealth, international influence, and the sheer mystery of their sudden downfall make them the perfect candidates for a grand, century-spanning conspiracy theory. The Templars of Assassin's Creed are a direct evolution of the legends that began the moment King Philip sealed their fate. The Order was destroyed, but the legend was just beginning. The shocking speed of their downfall, the whispers of a massive hidden treasure, and the mystery of their secret rituals created fertile ground for centuries of myths and conspiracy theories. Did they secretly guard the Holy Grail? Did a group of knights escape with their fleet and their treasure, sailing off to find new secret societies? These are the questions that have fueled a global obsession, linking the Templars to everything from Freemasonry to modern conspiracies. While most historians dismiss these claims for lack of evidence, the myth endures. A testament to their dramatic story. Even today, talk of potential Templar discoveries can spark public fascination, reminding us that parts of their history are still being uncovered. The true legacy of the Knights Templar is a complex one. They were pioneers of international finance who laid the groundwork for modern banking. They were a disciplined elite military force that played a crucial role in the Crusades. But they are also a cautionary tale of how quickly power and wealth can become a liability. Their story is a dramatic saga of faith, war, and ultimately betrayal. A story of how a band of poor soldiers built an invisible empire, only to be consumed by the very world they helped to create. What part of the Templar story do you find most fascinating? The holy warriors, the bankers, or the enduring mysteries? Let us know in the comments below, and if you want to uncover more secrets from history, make sure to subscribe so you never miss our next journey into the past. The Templars are without doubt one of the weirdest, most mysterious organizations throughout human history, and their story is never ending with conspiracy theories, Assassin's Creed obviously. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments. What do you think of the Templars? Let us know, and we'll see you guys in the next episode of the Time Travel Tavern.